to Jones County. So that's how both these teams ended up here today in the third game of the day. Our pitchers for Gulf Coast is going to be Davis. Hawkins will get the start for Pearl River. I believe that's right. As we're trying to in a scramble right now to get everything situated. That is Hawkins for Pearl River and Davis for Gulf Coast. So Davis is in the circle here to start this one. It has been a long day of softball, ladies and gentlemen.
Leading off from the Lady Wildcats, number 23, Scrounce.
Megan Scrounce will lead things off here for Pearl River. Takes that first pitch high for a ball. Pearl River also punched their ticket to the NJCAA Region 23 tournament next week at Jones County, as this pitch is lifted into the outfield towards left for out number 1. Well, Pearl River playing back-to-back games, but nothing that these girls aren't used to, as most games throughout the regular season are doubleheaders. Gulf Coast had a game off, so they had a chance to rest, as now Boutwell is at the plate. Swings on that changeup, a grounder, the short throw across the way is in time for out number 2. That one a little close for comfort for Gulf Coast fans. So 2 away here, and Jackson will dig in for Pearl River. We do thank everyone that's watching here on Let'sGoICC.com. It's been a record-breaking weekend for viewership on our Ustream feed. Is that pitch high for a ball? So 1-0 is the count here. We're in the top of the first with no score. That's took a little bit off of it, found the zone, evens at the count now at 1-1. And that pitch just across the letters for strike 2, so a nice job by Davis battling back. Pitch in the dirt. He was at the count at 2-2, and that one took a bad hop on the catcher. As she is going to take a second to sort of catch her breath. It looked like it may have come up and got her just in between the chest protector. Kind of knocked the breath out of her. And so the umpire going to talk to the pitcher and have the coach from Gulf Coast come out and talk to his catcher. Give her a chance to catch her breath. Nice show of sportsmanship from both fans as they applaud. As we go back here, I believe the count's 2-2 here on Jackson, with 2 away in the top of the first. This pitch popped up, back and out of play, and the count will stay even. If Jackson were to reach, then Lewis, who is the DP this game, typically has caught all the other games, catching a break in this one. A well-deserved break, as well as she has played an outstanding series behind the plate. There's a hard hit shot past the third baseman, and Jackson reaches on a 2-out single.
Number 21, Lewis.
Now up will be Lewis, as we said, the DP in this situation. 2 away, top of the first. We're scoreless between Gulf Coast and Pearl River. This is an elimination game. The winner of this contest will go to face Jones County tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the state championship. They will have to win 2 to dethrone the defending champs, Jones County. This shot lifted, drifting back to the wall, and she dropped it. Thought she had robbed a home run, but instead dropped the ball, and the center fielder looks to be injured as she slammed into the fence. So what was a third out turns in to a 2-run home run for Lewis. And that is a good start to the contest by Pearl River. As we said, the center fielder had the ball, made the catch, but couldn't hold on, as she nearly robbed that home run for out number 3. So a break there for Pearl River. So 2 outs and nobody on here. That pitch low for a ball. Check swing, she went all day. They're not even going to appeal. They're going to say that's strike 1. 1-1 is the count. This is Hawkins, the starting pitcher for Pearl River. That pitch high for a ball. There's a dribbler to the shortstop. Throw across the way is in time for out number 2, but not before Lewis comes up with a big 2-run home run to give Pearl River a 2-0 lead here after the top of the first. And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. We move to the bottom of the first inning. Due up the 1, 2, 3 batters here for Gulf Coast. You've got Hickman, Kraft, and Davis coming up.
Lady Bulldog, shortstop, number 2, Hickman.
So this will be the shortstop Hickman who will start things off. 2-0 is your score in favor of Pearl River after what was a great defensive play by the center fielder. When she hit the fence, she lost the ball, and it dropped for a 2-run home run for Lewis. So it's been that type of day. Pearl River has been getting a lot of breaks, and that was a big one. That first pitch in there for a strike. That changeup hung up for a ball. 1-1 now the count here on Hickman. That pitch high for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. We do want to thank everyone for tuning in here to letsgoicc.com. We'll have the championship game or games tomorrow. There's a flare out to second. Throw across is not in time. Gets away. And the runner will advance. So we're going to score that a single and advance on the error for Hickman, as she had beat that throw out with amazing speed. And so now the lead runner in scoring position. So that will bring up Kraft for Gulf Coast. As we talked about, Gulf Coast fell 4-1 in the first game today to Jones County. Now facing Pearl River after a 5-0 win over ICC in an elimination game. One second as I step off the and we're back to action as that was a flyout to left by Kraft. Had a little big brother business to take care of that time as we stepped away from action, but we're back now. There's one away with a runner on second. As the pitcher Davis digging in here, trying to help her cause as Gulf Coast is down 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. That pitch finds the corner of the plate for a strike. We have seen Hawkins one time this tournament already. She came in cleanup duty of the 9-0 loss to Jones. As that pitch just outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. That pitch just outside and low. Ball 2. Well, this is going to be interesting to see how well these pitchers can battle throughout the day, as it's a hot day. It has been that way, I guess, unseasonably hot, you can say, as that pitch outside once again. 3-1 now goes the count. So Hawkins going to have to come back and try to find the zone here. Behind in the count, 3-1 with one out and a runner on second. This pitch popped up mile high. Second baseman charging in and makes the play for out number 2. So 2 away now and a runner on second for Gulf Coast. They trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning here in this elimination game. The winner will move on to tomorrow's championship game. The loser, well, they've already punched their ticket to the Region 23 tournament, so they will be playing again next week. That pitch in there for a strike. This is Gaston at the plate, trying to spark a 2-out rally here for the Lady Bulldogs. Had a chance to speak with Ladd Taylor, the AD of Gulf Coast, before the game. Ladd looking dieseled up as always. Also, Bill Snyder was here earlier, the AD for Gulf Coast. 2 really good folks. You people at Gulf Coast have got a pair of good ones down there. As there's a shot down the line, but it's pulled foul and out of play. Also, Mitch Deaver is in the house for Pearl River. Mitch is a guy that will keep you on your toes. He's a good buddy of mine. Always enjoyed working with Mitch throughout the years. There's a pitch, strike 3, and the Gulf Coast player did not agree with it at all as she just jaw dropped on that call, but a strike 3 looking. The first pit stop barbecue strikeout of the afternoon ends the inning. 2-0. Pearl River leads Gulf Coast. Back with more right after this. And we're back to action here. 2-0 is your score. Pearl River with the lead, and at the plate, this is the catcher, Roberts. She swings on this pitch, pops it up. Shortstop calling everyone off and makes the play for out number 1. Roberts, Holloway, and Lantrop. The 6, 7, 8 batters due up here for Pearl River. As we talked about, they took a 2-0 lead on a 2-run home run by Lewis that went from a amazing defensive play to rob Lewis of the home run for the 3rd out of the inning when the young lady in center field hit the fence. The ball came loose, and now there's going to be danger, and running in and making the play was the girl we was just talking about in center. A beautiful running play to get out number 2, but to finish that thought on the 2-run home run, she did a great job. A leaping catch, but slammed really hard into the fence. Her glove extended well above the fence, just above the eye out there in the outfield. It couldn't hang on to it as it dropped for a 2-run home run. That's your score right now, 2-0, as this is Lantrop, who is coming to the plate. 2 away here as that first pitch high and outside for a ball. That pitch finds the corner of the plate, evens up the count now at 1-1. If Lantrop was to reach, then the number 9 batter, Flint, would be up for Pearl River. There's a dribbler down the line, this time a foul ball. 2-0 is your score. 1-2 is the count here on Lantrop. One-two pitch coming. Dribbled forward. This is trouble. Pitcher gloves it cleanly and not in time as she will leg out the play, and Lantrop will reach on an infield single. Little, swing, if you will. And it just traced away from the pitcher as the infield was back. Couldn't get the play on the ball, and so now a 2-out single keeps the rally alive, or the inning alive here. And that's the same thing that happened last time with Pearl River. They got a 2-out single and then that 2-run home run in the top of the first to take the 2-0 lead. This is Allie Flint at the plate. 1-0 is the count with a runner on first. That pitch just misses. 2-0 goes the count. We do thank everyone that is tuning in here on letsgoicc.com. Also, those of you that are following us on Twitter at letsgoicc.com. You can like us on Facebook, searching ICC Athletics. We also have individual pages for each of our sports. You type in ICC in front of the sports, you can find us there as well. That pitch outside for a ball. Three and one is the count here on Flint. Runner on first with 2 outs. Changeup, hard hit to the shortstop. Great stab and throw over to second for the out to end the inning. So no runs off 1 hit and no errors. We move to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Pearl River. And we're back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the second. Gulf Coast trailing 2-0. They will have the 5, 6, 7 batters coming up. This is going to be Butler, Ladner, and Bender. A trio of Ers, if you will, as all of them's last name ending in ER. And everybody in South Mississippi just got a view of how my brain works. Not quite normal.
Number 13, Butler.
And plus, it's been a long day here at the ballpark, but a good day. This has been a great weekend of softball here in the MACJC State Tournament. And Ladner rips one to center, but the center fielder glides underneath it for out number 1. So one away for Ladner, who's had a pretty solid tournament for Gulf Coast.
Third baseman, number 22, Ladner.
Hawkins only given up 1 hit today so far. As that pitch low and outside for a ball. Catcher tried to frame it, but I actually think she kind of framed it out of the zone. Or maybe just pulled it back into the zone too much. Ladner ahead in the count now, 1-0. That pitch right down the heart of the plate for a strike. The winner of this game will go on to tomorrow's championship game against Jones. That one will be at 1 o'clock. Jones would have to lose 2 games to not win the state championship this year. And guess what? Jones has only lost 2 games out of 45, 46, 120 played. Jones will host the Region 23 tournament next week. You can watch that one on jcjc.tv. As the crew down there at Jones do an outstanding job. They are broadcasting their baseball series this weekend as they swept 2-0. As that pitch, just outside. Even Ladner thought she caught a break there. Now the count goes full to 3-2. Payoff pitch from Hawkins coming. There's a dribbler right back to Hawkins. Gets past her. Shortstop gets it. Throws across at about a step and a half in time. 6-3 on the putout for out number 2. So now that will bring up Bender.
Number 8, Bender.
So Bender will be working with 2 away here. Trying to get a little 2-out rally spark for Gulf Coast. That pitch just high, like a drop ball that came across the numbers, but not in the zone that the umpire was looking for. Screwball that time, hanging up on the inside, 2-0. Now the count here on Bender. If Bender were to reach in Desporte, will be up next. There's a dribbler out to third. Glove throw across the way. Ooh, just in time. 5-3 on the put out. A 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the second. 2-0. Pearl River leads here against Gulf Coast. And we're back to action here as we move to the top of the third inning. It'll be the 1, 2, 3 batters here in the inning. Scrounce, Boutwell, and Jackson due up for Pearl River. They lead 2-0 here over Gulf Coast in this elimination game. The winner of this game will advance to tomorrow's championship round against Jones County. A hot day here at the ballpark. Temperatures expected to get into the high 70s, maybe even creep into the low 80s. And it's May. That pitch high for a ball. 1-0 is the count. That pitch way out of the zone. 2-0 to Scrounce. She flew out to left her first time up. As that pitch finds the zone. 2-1 now goes the count. This is Davis in the circle for Gulf Coast. She's battling against Hawkins of Pearl River. That pitch low in the dirt gets away, but nobody on to do any damage. 3-1 now goes the count here on Scrounce. 2-0 is your score. Pearl River, top of the third inning. Pitch right down the heart of the plate, taking all the way that time. Now the count goes full. Payoff pitch from Davis. Rip right back up the middle for a single past a diving second baseman. That is the fourth hit of the day for Pearl River, and now up will be Boutwell. Boutwell, her first at bat, grounded out to the shortstop.
First baseman, number 9, Boutwell.
So no outs here in the top of the third, and the runner on first for Pearl River. They lead 2-0 here over Gulf Coast. Showed bunt, laid down nicely that time. Throw to first is in time. So that is going to be a sacrifice bunt. 1-3 on the putout. And that sacrifice bunt brought to you by the BSU of ICC. Brother Chris Burrows, the director of the BSU, has been since 1998. The BSU of ICC is the oldest organization on campus. Now up is going to be Jackson. She singled and scored a run, a part of that 2-run home run by Lewis. That pitch finds the corner of the plate for a strike. Runner on second. One out here in the top of the third. Jones trying to build on their 2-0 lead. Pitch high and outside for a ball. Even though the count now at 1-1. Lewis is on deck. That time swung at a low pitch. It's going to be a foul ball. 1-2 now is the count here on Jackson. One and two. Jackson will dig in here with a runner on second and one out here in the top of the third. There's a shot to the third baseman. Looks the runner back to second. Throw across the way is in time for out number 2. Nice job by the third baseman that time to keep the runner at bay. 5-3 on the putout if you're scoring at home for out number 2. So now Lewis,
Number 21.
who pushed across the 2 runs so far in the game, will dig in. Pitch coming low and in the dirt. Nice job blocking it up that time by the catcher to keep the runner at second base. So we talked about Lewis playing the DP in this game. She's caught every other game and has done a great job behind the plate for Pearl River. That pitch across for a strike. So getting a well-deserved rest, if you will, in this game. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 1-2. Now the count. So 1-2 is the count with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Swing and a miss for strike three, and Davis gets out of the inning with no damage done with a pit stop barbecue strikeout, her first strikeout of the day. No runs on 1 hit and no errors. 1 was left on. We move to the bottom of the third. Pearl River leading 2-0. And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we shift to the bottom of the third inning. 2-0, Pearl River leads.
Number 1, Desporte.
As Desporte now coming to the plate. The 8-9-1 batters due up here as that pitch across for a strike. There's a shot to center field. Center fielder charging on. Can't make the play, so a leadoff single for Gulf Coast as they're trying to spark a rally here in the bottom of the third, trailing 2-0 to Pearl River. This will be Campbell. That will now come to the plate.
Center fielder number 7, Campbell.
As the Gulf Coast players very animated in the dugout. Not sure what they're doing, but it looks to be a dance of sorts. Yep, you can tell it's been a long day when you're looking to describe dancing of softball players. Nice bunt laid down. Third baseman comes across. Throw is in time for the out. So a sacrifice bunt by Campbell advances the runner into scoring position for Gulf Coast with 1 out now.
Number 2, Hickman.
And we go back to the top of the lineup for Hickman. Hickman singled and advanced on an error her first time up, but was left stranded. Hickman pulls one. If it stays fair to score a run, but it's foul. Thought she had a chance to sneak that one down the line, but just had a little too much pull on it. So a long strike there for Hickman. Well, we've got some pitchers warming up for Pearl River. No action being seen in the bullpen for Gulf Coast. Another shot pulled down the line, and thank goodness the pitchers that were warming up just moved a little bit after that last foul ball, or that one might have got them. So 0-2 now the count here on Hickman. Oh, 2 pitch. Grounder past a diving third baseman. Now they've got the runner in a rundown. And so a fielder's choice for Hickman. 6-4 on the putout, an unconventional putout, if you will. As she didn't tag the bag, she ran up and tagged the runner after she had fallen. So now Kraft will come up with 2 outs and a runner on first for Gulf Coast. And once again, we talked about it in our last broadcast with ICC, and we'll mention it now. Today has been a day that the breaks have gone the way of Pearl River. And in this time of year, it takes that to win games. That first pitch outside and high for a ball. Kraft flew out to left her first time up, trying to get a 2-out rally going here. Pearl River leads this one 2-0. Runner goes. Throw down is not in time. A stolen base for Hickman. I don't know if the shortstop was actually anticipating the throwdown that time as she was late getting to the bag. But Hickman, who has great speed, moves into scoring position. So Gulf Coast pushing the issue, stealing with 2 outs. And the count is 2-0 here on Kraft. Kraft looks that one across the plate. 2-1 now is the count. I think she kind of realized she's not going to get much of a better pitch to hit in that situation. 2-1 now is the count here on Kraft. Runner on second is Hickman. That pitch floats high and outside. 3-1 now goes the count here on Kraft. If Kraft was to reach, then Davis, the pitcher, would be up next for Gulf Coast. Hawkins stepping off the rubber, trying to, I guess, get her focus back after throwing those 3 straight balls. That pitch. Oh, the runner had already headed down to first, but the umpire said, nope, 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 come on back. That's strike 2. So now the count goes full here on Kraft. Good job by Kraft not reacting, because a lot of times if you kind of show up the call, the umpire call anything a strike on the next one. And instead, this one back, and gone. Kraft says thank you for not calling that ball 4 as she ties the ball game with a 2-run home run to left. And we've got a whole new ball game now, folks. As that was a 2-run shot to left. And we're tied at 2-2, and the pitcher Davis coming to bat here for Gulf Coast.
Number 9, Davis.
Davis popped out to second her first time up. Swings on this one, a dribbler to the second baseman, throws across the way in time for out number 3, but not before the damage was done by Kraft with the swing of the bat. She tied this ball game at 2-2. We've played 3 here between Pearl River and Gulf Coast. And we're back to action now as we move to the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Hawkins, Roberts, and Holloway. The 5, 6, 7 batters due up here for Pearl River. Pearl River took a 2-0 lead in the first inning on a 2-run home run by Lewis. And then Kraft answered with a 2-run home run in the bottom of the third to tie the game at 2-2. As we mentioned, the winner of this game will advance to Sunday's championship game against Jones County. Now, Jones County would have to lose 2 on Sunday in order to not win the state title. So it'll be a tall task for either Gulf Coast or Pearl River on Sunday, seeing how Jones has only lost 2 games all season. This is Hawkins at the plate for Pearl River. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up, trying to help her own cause here with a base hit. Swings on one, lifts. It was going to go foul, but the left fielder chasing over and makes the play. Nice job that time by the left fielder, running a long way and bounces off the fence for the first out of the inning here in the top of the fourth. Now up will be Roberts, the catcher.
Number 25, Roberts.
She popped out to short in her first at bat of the day. She now will dig in with 1 out and nobody on. Change up. Fouled back and out of play for strike 1. Remind everyone, as we was just talking about that championship game or games tomorrow, you can watch live here on letsgoicc.com. That one starting at 1 o'clock. I'll have the call on that. As that pitch high for a ball. You can also keep up on @LetsGoICC on Twitter. Give us a follow. Heck, give me a shout out on Twitter. Let me know who's watching. That's @LetsGoICC on Twitter. That pitch across for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Roberts. Pitch grounded right back to the pitcher. Soft toss over to first for the out. 2 away now here in the top of the fourth inning. A pretty fast-moving contest, and I shouldn't have said that. Knock on some wood. Typically tend to jinx things when you talk about how the game moving along. But now up with 2 outs is Holloway. She flew out to center in her first at bat, stands in, takes that pitch. Oh, I thought it was low, but called a strike. 0-1 is the count here on Holloway. If Holloway was to reach, then Lantrop would be up next for Pearl River. Changeup. Waiting on the changeup and got it. It's hit to the gap. Not going to try to go for 2 as it wasn't hit hard enough to get past the left fielder. So a 2-out single by Holloway extends the inning. And now Lantrop, who had a single her first time up, will dig in.
Number 11, Lantrop.
Trying to spark a rally here in the top of the fourth for Pearl River. We're tied 2-2 here in the top of the fourth. That pitch high for a ball. Runner on first is Holloway. There's 2 outs for Pearl River. There's a shot, but it's going to be pulled foul. A little, excuse me, swing, if you will, and was able to find contact with it and pull it foul. Evens up the count now at 1-1. That pitch, a ball. 2-1 now is the count here on Lantrop. If Lantrop was to reach, then Flint would be up for Pearl River. That pitch outside for a ball. 3-1 now goes the count. We'll try to find you some Trustmark Bank scoreboard updates throughout the day in baseball. There's a shot down the line, but foul. What a play that time. That may have even been a chance at an end-the-park home run, but what an outstanding effort that time by Bender in left. Stretched way out trying to get to that foul ball. She's actually going to have to probably take a little bit of time out there to catch her breath because she landed pretty hard, and the umpire doing a good job of checking on her, making sure she's good to go, got her glove back on, and now the count goes 3-2. This one hit to the third baseman, gets it in fair territory, loses the ball, and now they're going to award her the base as the ball got into the dugout, so it'll be an error on the play. And now when the ball whirled into the dugout after she lost control of it, she gloved it cleanly, went to stand up and throw in a hurry, but when she did, she lost it out of her glove. The ball rolled into the dugout, and runners were allowed to advance a base. So now Flint will dig in here for Pearl River. Runners on second and third with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth of a 2-2 ball game against Gulf Coast. That pitch across for a strike. We saw Davis come up with a big strikeout to end the last inning when she got into a little bit of trouble, trying to find her way out of this inning here. That pitch apparently low for a ball. 1-1 is the count. Some of the Gulf Coast fans not liking that call. This pitch hit foul back out of play, directly behind the ICC broadcast booth. Or I should say the ICC Alumni Association broadcast booth. Visit iccms.edu for more information on the Alumni Association. Mark Todd, the director of that. That pitch just outside. Gulf Coast fans thought they've had a couple of strikeouts to get out of this inning. The umpire has thought otherwise. Runners on second and third, 2 outs, 2-2 ball game. Pitch coming, grounder to third, gloved, throw across the way is in time. Actually pulls her off the base, was able to get her foot back on it in time. 5-3 on the putout, and Gulf Coast gets out of the inning with no damage done. We're tied 2-2 as we move to the bottom of the fourth. And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. We move to the bottom of the fourth inning. The 4, 5, 6 batters due up here for Gulf Coast. That's Gaston, Butler, and Ladner. We've got a 2-2 ball game on a pair of 2-run home runs for Pearl River, it was by Lewis. And for Gulf Coast, it was by Kraft. So Gaston trying to keep the momentum going in the way of the blue and gold. Hawkins still in the circle for Pearl River. That pitch high and inside for a ball. Well, this is one thing we talked about, a little strategy going here for both these teams, trying to figure out who they would like to pitch against Jones tomorrow in the championship game. As this pitch is lifted, it's got a chance. It's back, way back and gone. A leadoff home run by Gaston. And Gulf Coast climbs ahead 3-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. She just stretched out and touched that one, and it went a mile. And that might be it for Hawkins. And that appears to be the case, as we'll have a Predator Pest Control pitching change, as that's going to be number 3 for Pearl River. Yeah, Courtney War. Buddy Wayne and I checking the players. It's been a long day, but Courtney War will now enter the contest for Pearl River. And she will inherit well, she actually won't inherit anything. There's no runners on. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth. So Gaston, with the leadoff home run, knocks Hawkins out of the circle. And the first batter up for War will be Butler. Butler flew out to center in her first at bat, and War's first pitch just a little up high. As that goes for ball one. 3-2 is your score. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Gulf Coast has rallied on a pair of home runs after falling behind 2-0 in the first inning. That pitch inside, oh, nearly hit Butler. But it's one of those where you may just want to try to catch it in the strong part of the back and take one for a team, but that one had a little bit of heat on it. War coming out and struggling with locations as she kind of just came in right away. That's nice. Breaking ball that time. Finds the zone. 2-1 now is the count here on Butler. And that one a strike. Butler started heading towards first, kind of looks back at the umpire when she walks back to the batter's box. 3-2 now is the count here on Butler. And that's strike three. That's why you don't show up an umpire when he calls a strike when you head down to first, because she shot a glare back at the home plate umpire. That pitch looked to be high and outside, but that's his retaliation. And it's one of those situations that's kind of like your parents, when they say, because I said so, and that's why it was strike three. So a pit stop barbecue strikeout, second strikeout of the day. Or actually, excuse me, that is the first strikeout of the day for War. Second for Pearl River. There comes the rally geese flying in. Where were you at about an hour ago? So really haven't seen a lot of the rally geese this season flying over. So with one out, Ladner at the plate. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. Swings and fouls that one back. 1-2 now goes the count here on Ladner. Three-two is your score. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Gulf Coast leading Pearl River. Swing and fouled back. Count will stay 1-2. On deck is Bender. And Desport will be on deck or in the hole if either one of those were to reach. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. 2-2 now goes the count here on Ladner. There's a hard ground ball past the second baseman. And Ladner will cruise in for a single, her first hit of the game. So a one-out single. And now Bender, who is 0 for 1 of the day. She grounded out to third, her first time up to end the second.
Number 8, Bender.
As Bender checks in, Coach Roberts in the press box with us, nearly trips over a chair as she goes to take a phone call. First pitch to Bender. Looked to be a little change-up, tried to get it to drop in the zone, but hung up on her that time. Ball one. Desport on deck, I should say. Is that pitch low for a ball? Runner on first with one out here. Gulf Coast leads 3-2. That pitch right across hard the plate for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count on Bender. That time floating across the plate. Throw over to second is in time, but will not have a chance at the double play. Score that one 5-4 on the putout. There's 2 away now as Desport will step in at the bat. 2 away. Runner on first. Like a changeup once again that hung up on her. We talked about it. A changeup could make or break you in the game of softball. When a pitcher's got it going and can throw it for strikes, really keeps batters on their heels. And when you don't got it over, well, sometimes you're just throwing BP to the batters. That pitch outside. They anticipated the steal. Throw down is in time and got her. Do know about that as the tag was against the head of the runner. Don't see. Well, actually, one of the Gulf Coast, now the Gulf Coast coach is going to come out and argue that one. And he's got a legit argument on that one. A tag that high, you've got to assume the feet got there well above the tag unless you just slid past the bag. But either way it goes, caught stealing to end the inning. And we have played 4. It's 3-2 Gulf Coast over Pearl River. And we're back to action as we move to the top of the lineup here for Pearl River. Scrounce, Boutwell, and Jackson due up here. Scrounce 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a fly out to left. Nice pitch that time. Leadoff changeup in there for a strike. Gulf Coast leading 3-2. We're in the top of the 5th inning. That pitch low and outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count here. It's been a game of long balls. 3 home runs, and that's our run scored so far. A dribbler to second, throw over in time for the out. Well, the winner of this game will get Jones tomorrow on Championship Sunday. I believe Jones is looking to go 3 in a row
Number 9, Batwell.
with state championships. Batwell 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. Swings on that one, grounds it past the diving second baseman. Throw from right field, not in time. So a single for Boutwell. 6th hit of the day for Pearl River. Well, one of those hits belongs to this lady now at the plate. This is Jackson. Jackson singled, scored as part of that 2-run home run in the first. She grounded out to third her last time up. That pitch inside and low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Runner on first with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. 3-2, Gulf Coast leading. There's a shot over the head and into the gap. Runner's going to round second, go to third. They're going to try to send her home to tie the ball game. It's going to be a double, and it will tie the game 3-3. Now the runner's in a pickle. Tried to advance, but the throw was high. Got to it. Now throw over to third is in time. So we've got a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Then you go 8 to 4 to 2 to 6 to 5 on the putout. That is if you're scoring at home. So 2 away, but Pearl River has tied this game 3-3 here in the top of the 5th. Now Lewis is at the plate. She's 1 for 2 on the day with a home run and a strikeout. Swings on that one, a dribbler back to the pitcher, gloves, and throws over in time for the putout. But the damage was done in a RBI double by Jackson, and we're back to where we started. We're tied 3-3 here as we move to the bottom of the 5th. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're tied 3-3 here between Pearl River and Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast coming to the plate with the 8, 9, and 1 batters. Desport, Campbell, and Hickman. Desport was at the bat last time up when Bender was caught stealing. Swings on that changeup, way ahead of that one for strike one. We're seeing the off-speed pitches starting to dominate this game here. The third game of the day. Second in a row for Pearl River. Tried the off-speed again, but this time it was glove throwed over in time, 5-3 on the putout. So one away now, and Campbell will come up, the number 9 batter for Gulf Coast. We'll recap the scoring
Number 7, Campbell.
After this next pitch here, as this is War in the circle replacing Hawkins for Pearl River. That pitch high for a ball. Pearl River took a 2-0 lead in the first on a 2-run home run by Lewis. Then a 2-run shot by Kraft for Gulf Coast. Answered that one in the bottom of the third. That pitch high for a ball. Then Gulf Coast took a 3-2 lead on a solo shot in the bottom of the fourth by Gaston. And then a RBI double by Jackson. Her second hit of the day. Tied the game at 3-3 in the top of the fifth. That pitch low and inside for a ball. 2-0 now goes the count here on Campbell. Campbell had a sacrifice bunt her first time up. And she takes 4 straight pitches for a walk. And now we go back to the top of the lineup. And Hickman.
Number 2, Hickman.
Hickman has reached twice today. Her last time up, grounded into a fielder's choice, stole second. First time up, singled and advanced on an error. She eventually scored a run as part of that 2-run home run by Kraft. That time, like a pitch out to see if they were going to try to steal on the first pitch. Nothing doing as that goes for a ball. We're in the bottom of the fifth. 3-3 is your score between Pearl River in the gold and Gulf Coast in blue at the bat. The winner of this game will advance to tomorrow's championship game against Jones County. That pitch, high for a ball. 3-0 goes the count. And again, back-to-back walks issued by War. Don't see anybody warming up for Gulf Coast, but apparently they are going to make another Predators Pest Control pitching change as War will exit. She's responsible for the runners on first and second. Now entering the game for Pearl River looks to be 21. That's Kelsey Lewis. We'll double check that number here in a minute. But we've got another Predator Pest Control pitching change. Hawkins, who got the start for Pearl River, she had no decision. Rachel Hickman, number 31. Rachel Hickman is now the starter. We thought it was a 21, but it is 31 now taking the circle for Pearl River. Rachel Hickman. Trying to help Buddy Wayne out across the way.
On the mound for Pearl River, Rachel Hickman.
We've seen a lot of Hickman this tournament. I tell you, Buddy Wayne doing a great job with the PA, but when you have as many names and as many innings under your belt over the past 2 days, Buddy Wayne will agree your eyes start to cross after a while. So Hickman, first pitch, across for a strike. Runners on first and second with one out here. Both the runners belong to War. Shows bunt, lays it down nicely. Throw across the way is not in time. Great surprise bunt that time. And an infield single for Kraft. Now, bases are loaded. 1 out. And the pitcher, Davis, coming to the plate. She can really help herself out with a base hit right here. Pearl River got to be careful in this situation. 1 out, change up. Beautiful, beautiful pitch. As Davis waited on it that time and let it drop in the zone for strike 1. That time a fastball, grounder to third, throw across the way to first. In time, but pushes across a run. 5-3 on the ground out, but an RBI as Campbell comes home. Not a play at the plate. As a good job of getting the for sure out. It was a great diving stop at third by Pearl River. And now Gulf Coast retakes the lead 4-3. Runners on second and third. We've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. This has been a battle between these two South Division teams. There's a dribbler to third, throw across the way is low, but a nice dig that time at first for the out. So 3 away here in the inning. 1 run on 1 hit and no error. 2 was left on. We have played 5, and back and forth we go. Gulf Coast leads 4-3. And we're back in the top of the 6th inning. This will be Rachel Hickman at the plate as she replaced War, who replaced Hawkins in the circle. That first pitch from Davis across from strike 1. 4-3 is your score. Gulf Coast leads this one. We've been back and forth throughout the afternoon here, or I should say evening, between these two teams. The lights being flipped on just in case this one creeps beyond the 7 innings we got here as the sun starting to set on the Tenn-Tom Waterway here in Fulton. That pitch finds the zone for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Hickman. Pitch goes for a ball. 2-2 now is the count. There's a shot lifted, troubles. Left fielder, though, shows off her speed and makes a great running catch for the first out of the inning. Now up will be Roberts.
Number 25, Roberts.
She is the catcher for this game. Lewis has been the catcher for Pearl River, but as we said, getting a break, she is the DP today. That pitch in the dirt skips across the plate for ball one. Some of the Jones County faithful and players sticking around to see who they'll be taking on tomorrow in the championship game. That pitch across for a strike. That one just outside, as Gulf Coast fans thought that one was good for a strike. Instead, the count, I believe, now goes 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike two. One out here in the top of the sixth. Gulf Coast on defense and leading 4-3. That pitch just outside. Now the count goes full. 3-2 is the count here on Roberts. Payoff pitch coming. Lifted. Left fielder takes a couple of steps up. Now sneaks underneath it for out number two. Up now will be Holloway, who singled her last time up. First time up, she flew out to center.
Holloway.
So 2 away. Gulf Coast trying to get a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. See if they can build on this 4-3 lead in the bottom of the sixth. So we mentioned the winner of this one will advance to tomorrow's championship round. That pitch just misses for ball one. There's a dribbler to second. Had it, lost it, now throws over in time. Had to wait for the umpire's signal. She was pulled off the bag but was able to keep a heel on it. So a 3-up, 3-down, top of the sixth inning for Pearl River. Gulf Coast leading 4-3. Coming to bat will be Butler, Ladner, and Bender in the bottom of the sixth. And we're back to action now as we move to the bottom of the sixth inning. Gulf Coast leading 4-3 here over Pearl River in an elimination game of the MACJC softball tournament. Both these teams have already punched their ticket to next week's Region 23 tournament at Jones County. That first pitch from Hickman across for strike one. This is Butler, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Change up. Couldn't get her to fish after that one. 1-1 now is the count. Once again, want to thank everyone for watching here on letsgoicc.com. We'll have tomorrow's championship game or games brought to you here. 2-1 now is the count here on Butler. That pitch just misses. Looked pretty good. 3-1 now is the count. Butler swings on it, hits it to the shortstop, gloves it, and throws low and away. And so Butler will reach on the error. It looked like that play was doomed from the start as the shortstop. The ball took a funny hop on her and kind of had to come back into her body to make the play and had to dig it out and then throw across. And the throw was rushed and in the dirt. And that will put Butler on via the error. This is Ladner on deck. We'll have a runner, I believe, coming into the game. We'll see 12 for Gulf Coast. That's Miranda. Or no, excuse me, that's not. Okay, that's Hallie Friend coming in to run. Getting our rosters confused here, but Hallie Friend comes in to run. So Friend actually out of the Northeast Mississippi area, a Saltillo graduate. Bunt laid down by Ladner. Going to have to throw it in time and does get her just by half a step. So a nice sacrifice bunt that time. 5-3 on the putout. And Friend advances to second. Now it will be Bender. Bender reached on a fielder's choice but was caught stealing to end the fourth.
Number 8, Bender.
She grounded out to third her first time up to end the second. Gulf Coast trying to build on this 4-3 lead. That pitch low and inside for a ball. As we said, thank you to all the fans watching. We want to say a special shout out to all the fans that have made the trip up here to support their teams. They've had great crowds and also had very generous crowds. Everyone helping out with the tornado relief fund that we have tried to set up this week. That pitch right across the plate for a strike. Of course, our thoughts and prayers go out with all those families that were touched by the tornadoes, both in Itawamba and Lee County earlier this week. There's a shot off the fist. Third baseman gets it and just barely, and whenever I say barely, by the blink of an eye, gets Bender at first. And now there's 2 outs for Desport. She is 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Last time up, she grounded out to third. That pitch finds the zone for strike 1. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Gulf Coast trying to pick up an insurance run on their 4-3 lead here over Pearl River. That pitch fouled back for strike 2. Runner on second is Hallie Friend. There's 2 outs. 4-3. Gulf Coast leads in the bottom of the 6th. Change up. Just high for ball 1. There's a guy here. I don't know if he's a big-time Pearl River fan. There's a grounder to third. Throw across is in time for out number 3. But there's a Pearl River supporter out to our left who thought that was strike 3. I'm going to have to agree with him. It looked like it. But either way, Pearl River gets out of the inning with no damage done. All right, Pearl River down to their final 3 outs. They've got to push across the run to tie this. As Gulf Coast is going to reset all their original starters. We move to the 7th. Gulf Coast leading 4-3. And welcome back to action. We move to the top of the 7th inning. Pearl River has got to get a run to extend this inning. They trail 4-3. The 8-9-1 batters due up here in the top of the 7th. And Davis still in the circle for Gulf Coast, trying to go the distance here and pick up the win.
Leading off top of 7, number 11, Lantrip.
This is Lantrip. She's 1 for 2 on the day. She's reached both times. She's singled and reached on an error. Swings on the first one, actually bounces it off Davis. Davis gets it and throws her out, but looks like we may have got tangled up a little bit between runner and first baseman. May have hit knees as the first baseman goes down after making that play. Was concerned for a second of Davis as that one looked to have hit her, but came up off the ground and bounced up. She was able to get a partial glove in front of it. And another good sign of sportsmanship between both fans, applauding the first baseman for Gulf Coast, who popped up. Her coach was talking to her. She kind of shrugged her shoulder and said, "Hey, let's finish this thing." It looks to be she was looking at her ankle on that play, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And so now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Pearl River. This is number 10, Rachel Breland. Number 10, Rachel Breland for Pearl River. Her first at bat, as far as I know, of the tournament. So 1 out, 4-3, the lead for Gulf Coast. Pearl River trying to rally to extend this game with a run. That pitch across for a strike. 0-1 pitch coming from Davis. That pitch high and outside for a ball. 1-1 now the count. There's a dribbler to third. Gloves, throws over in time for out number 2. So now we go back to the top of the lineup with Scrounce trying to spark a 2-out rally here. If not, then Gulf Coast will hold on to win this one 4-3 in what has been pretty much the most exciting game of the tournament so far. Davis, change up, off speed, nice job of finding the zone. As I said, these pitchers have gone to a lot more off speed than we've seen in other games today, and it has kept the batters on their heels. That pitch just misses outside, evens the count now at 1-1. That pitch outside, 2-1 now goes the count. As Scrounce was to reach, then Boutwell would be up next. Scrounce is 1 for 3 on the day with a single. That pitch low for a ball. Quickly ahead in the count now, 3-1. As Pearl River trying to get a runner on here with 2 outs. In the top of the 7th, they trail Gulf Coast 4-3. And that's ball 4. So now the tying run is on base with 2 outs for Pearl River. A little late game drama brewing here in Fulton, Mississippi. As this is going to be Heather Boutwell coming to the plate. She represents the go-ahead run. Tying run is on first with 2 outs. We're in the top of the 7th, 4-3 Gulf Coast. Swings on the first one, lifts it. Center fielder coming in, but the right fielder makes the play, and that is your ball game. Gulf Coast hangs on to win it 4 4-3 to advance to tomorrow's championship game against Jones. We do thank everyone watching here on Let'sGoICC.com. We'll be back tomorrow for the 1 o'clock championship game. If needed, game 2 of the championships will be roughly at 3 as the games are running a little long this week. So for Will Colmeyer earlier today, James Puckett, Buddy Wayne, Coach Roberts, I'm Adam Gore. We'll see you next time, folks.